Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international seminar on Cow Hug Day, cows, cow therapy, animal-assisted therapies, animal-assisted interventions, bovine therapy, service animals, indigenous breeds, animal welfare, livelihoods, One Health, well-being and sustainable development, 2023. Commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030. As part of awareness and campaigns. In collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India, Sri Research Institute, Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. And before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's session. So we will have initially session by Manasa. She is pharmacist. Interested in multidisciplinary topics, research. So she will be presenting on cow hugging. We welcome you, Manasa, to this international seminar. You can unmute yourself, start your video and presentation.
Yes, sir. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. Please continue.
Yes, sir. Firstly, I thank Dr. Ravindra sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity to talk on Cow Hugging Day, and also on the occasion of 1 week international seminar on Cow Hug Day, cows, indigenous breeds, animal welfare, livelihoods, One Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2023. Thank you, sir, for your kind words and introducing me. A very good evening to one and all. I wish everyone a happy cow hugging day. My topic is regarding the cow hugging day, the holy cow. The Animal Welfare Board of India on Wednesday had declared February 14th celebrated the world over Valentine's Day as Cow Hug Day after consulting the Federal Animal Husbandry Ministry. It said that hugging the bovines will bring emotional richness, increasing individual and collective happiness. Thousands in India attend weddings between cow and calf. But in a new notice on Friday, the advisory body withdrew the appeal without giving any reason. As directed by the competent authority and Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, the appeal issued by the Animal Welfare Board of India for celebration of Cow Hug Day on 14th February 2023 stands withdrawn, it said. The board had earlier claimed that the dazzle of Western civilization has made our physical culture and heritage almost forgotten, but did not exemplicity mention Valentine's Day. Hindus don't worship cows. We respect, honor, and adore the cow. By honoring this gentle animal who gives more than she takes, we honor all creatures. Hindus regard all living creatures as sacred mammals, fishes, birds, and more. We acknowledge this reverence for life in our special affection for the cow. At festivals, we decorate and honor her, but we do not worship her in the sense that we worship the deity. To the Hindu, the cow symbolizes all other creatures. The cow is a symbol of the earth, the nourisher, the ever giving, undemanding provider. The cow represents life and the sustenance of life. The cow is so generous, taking nothing but water and grass. It gives and gives and gives of its milk, as does the liberated soul give of his spiritual knowledge. The cow is so vital to life, the virtual sustainer of life for many humans. The cow is a symbol of grace and abundance. Veneration of the cow instills in Hindus the virtues of gentleness, receptivity, and the connectedness with nature. The generous cows gives milk and cream, yogurt and cheese, butter and ice cream, ghee and buttermilk, whatnot. We are getting many more items from our the mother nature and the Gomata cow naturally. It gives entirely of itself through sirloin ribs, rump, porterhouse, and beef stew. Its bones are the base for soup broths and glues. It gives the world leather belts, leather seats, leather coats and shoes, beef jerky. As all we know, the social reformer Mahatma Gandhi ji once said, one can measure the greatness of a nation and its moral progress by the way it treats its animals. Cow protection to me is not mere protection of the cow. It means protection of all that lives and is helpless and weak in the world. The cow means the entire subhuman world. In the Hindu tradition, the cow is honored, garlanded, and given special feedings at festivals all over India. Most importantly, the annual Gopastama festival. demonstrating how dearly Hindus love their cows. Colorful cow jewelry and clothing is sold at fairs all over the Indian countryside. From a very young age and tender age, Hindu children are taught to decorate the cow with garlands, paint, and ornaments. Her nature is epitomized in Kamadhenu, the divine wish fulfilling cow. The cow and her sacred gifts, milk and ghee in particular, are essential elements in Hindu worship, penance, and rites of passage. In India, more than 3,000 institutions called Gosalas, maintained by charitable trusts, care for old and infirm cows. And while many Hindus are not vegetarians, most respect the still widely held code of abstaining from eating beef. By her docile, tolerant nature, the cow exemplifies the cardinal virtue of Hinduism, non injury, known as ahimsa. The cow also symbolizes dignity, strength, endurance, maternity, and selfless service. In the Vedas, cow represent wealth and joyous earthly life. From the Rig Veda, if we read, the cows have come and have brought us good fortune. In our stalls, content may they stay. May they bring forth calves for us, many colored, giving milk for Indra each day. You make, O cows, the thin man sleek, to the unlovely you bring beauty, rejoice our homestead with pleasant owing. In our assemblies, we laud your vigor. Significance of the cow is considered as one of the most sacred animals in India. Millions of Hindus revere and worship it. The cow has myriad qualities. The characteristic of the cow of providing life supporting milk has elevated its status to the level of a mother goddess. Therefore, the people respect it like a maternal figure. The cow as a provider, the holy cow, is perhaps the most harmless animal in the entire world. Exactly. The one and only sattvic animal when compared to rest of the animals and provide loads of natural, unconditional, pure love, especially a very good bondage with the farmers and providing many more things to mother nature and also for each and every person by many ingredients forms like milk, cream, butter, and in turn not expecting anything. The best characteristic of a cow is that it gives so much, yet demands nothing in return. As we know, there are innumerable dairy products made out of milk, like butter, ghee, curd, sweets, and whatnot. The Hindu rituals are never complete without ghee and curd. It is considered as a lucky charm by many, whereby they find it essential to have it before doing something important. The cow dung is used in the making of fertilizers that stimulate the farming process. It is also saved to be used as a fuel and produce heat and electricity. For many years, the bull was extremely important for our lives. The bull is used in agriculture to till the land to produce food grains. Of course, now we got many more machinery things and all, but coming to the traditional and old methods, these are fabulous agriculture tooling methods. It is sad that flowed by the growing technology, we have forgotten the significance of the cow in our life. Madhura cow, the holy cow, also owes its significance to Lord Krishna, Krishna Vasudev, the famous deity of the Hindus. His childhood was spent in Gokul near Mathura. He was brought up in a family of a milkman, Nand Baba. Lord Krishna grew up as a cow herder, as all we know, in the midst of cows and gopis, milkmaids. He also addressed as Govind and Gopala, which means protector and friend of cows. Even the bull has immense value in the Hindu mythology. If a cow is the mother, then the bull is the father. The Nandi bull, it is believed, was, as all we know, the vehicle of Lord Shiva and the gatekeeper of Shiva and Parvati ji. The northern Indian temples are filled with the sculptures and images of Nandi bull. On the other hand, the Kamadhenu cow also has tremendous religious significance. She was miraculous and gave her devotees whatever they desired. She is considered to be the mother of all cows. Ayurvedic significance, which actually understand the importance of a cow. It is a great exponent of the sattvic qualities of milk and the dairy products. Yogurt, buttermilk, organic milk, ghee, and other milk products are not only nutritious, but provide calcium and protein to the tissues. Ghee and cow dung used in yagnamu in Telugu, fire ceremonies complete the ritual, but at the same time, it helps to purify the air. Such a wonderful technology it is. No need of worrying about air pollution. Ayurveda also believes that some medicines cannot be healed by medicines alone, and they propagate panchamrit, a drink that is supposed to be blessed to heal. It is a nectar of gods made of 5 items: yogurt, ghee, honey, sugar, and milk. It is distributed at the end of religious ceremonies. Of course, it is very tasty, and surely we all will ask Guruji one more time, whatever the age it may be, because such a good naivedyam or prasadam it is. It is said that the Panchamrit fills a person with a divine energy and heals him from within. Hugging a cow reduces stress in humans and increase positivity. Even I heard that many of the cows may maintain a good mutual relationship with their uh, landlords or the farmers. Whenever the farmer or the person, those who take care of the cows, he is not feeling well, they may cry. Next to the dogs, they have such a wonderful and beautiful emotions. We tie up with the nature and also with the human beings. The warm temperature, slow beats, and large size of the cow's body give a feeling of peace to the people sitting close to it. It is a soothing experience. Whenever we go to Gosala and all, we may feel that, yeah, somehow today my mind is got relaxed after going through all these hectic schedules and all. I felt so happy being this part of Gosala today. So not only this, cows also feel pleasant. It's like scratching their back. Sitting close to them, letting them lick are all parts of this medical experience. It is believed that embracing cows releases oxytocin in the human body and makes them feel good. These hormones are released during good social interaction. Oxytocin is believed to bring a feeling of satisfaction, reduce stress, and makes one feel at peace with friends. Conserve the cow. The cow plays such an important role in our lives, yet we fail to acknowledge its significance. It is said our Bapu, social reformer Mahatma Gandhi ji, became a vegetarian because the cows were being ill treated. It is sad that since the cows are harmless, we have stopped caring about them. It's time we came out of our cocoons and started thinking about our real caretakers. It is imperative to save and maintain them, or the time is not far when they will be extinct. We cannot undetermine their importance. Just imagine the circumstances if our children are deprived of the nutrition provided by the cow and the condition of our crops in the absence of cow dung. It is time for action. Let us come forward and volunteer for cow service. Cow service is also considered to be a sanctifying act. Whatever way we feel, we should save the cow for our children, for humanity. The cow is the symbol of the divine gift of earth. Come, let's save it. So once again, I thank Dr. Ravindra sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity to talk on Cow Hugging Day. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manasa, for sharing wonderful insights. And it is the need of the hour, when we are talking about sustainable development and when we are talking about organic, natural, eco-friendly practices. So unless and until cows are promoted, cows are protected, and cows are conserved, we cannot achieve sustainability. And it is very well presented. You almost covered all the aspects, but unfortunately, we being very ignorant about the facts, and many are not aware because of a lot of propaganda that is going around the cow, and a lot of things politicized around cow as a religious animal and portraying. People have been very successful in keeping cow far from development, which made people malnutritional and also still thrive into poverty because the entire system, ecosystem, has been disturbed, and people who were independent with the help of the cows, now because they left the cows, they have become dependent on various aspects. As we have seen, recent after AWBI has announced, there were a lot of ridicules by media houses, media channels, and of course there were some genuine concerns. Really some portrayed, some were really talking about animal as such, because what would happen if animal is being abused in the name of cow hugging, or animal is tortured? That is a genuine concern, because no one can tolerate beyond the capacity, and everyone needs a time to gain back. And cows are very sensitive animals, though they are very compassionate, but they can also really get frustrated by the behavior. And especially people on these occasions, they become crazy. They behave in a very crazy manner, and they tend to follow the protocols. We have human rights, animals also have animal rights. So you need to develop a rapport, a contact with the animal. So you cannot just hug. Even today, the world is celebrating madly Valentine's Day, though it is not our culture. And there is nothing great about Valentine also. There is what is there in the celebration. Unfortunately, that's where our development process has took the wrong track, and we are heading towards our own destruction. Today, we have to talk about sustainable development, because all our development till now, what we were having was entirely towards a destruction. So it never contributed to economy it never contributed to sustainability or sustainable livelihoods. All the developments which are heading towards destruction. So today we have to move towards sustainability. That's why we need to reiterate the importance of cows. Earlier also, since ages, even before governments were there, even before kingdoms were there, even before, these nations have formed, since Vedic period, cows were, revered. In fact, they are loved as a family member. Today you might be anything, you might not be doing any job, but at the end of the day, if you don't take 3 times meals or snacks, you will die. You cannot eat silicon chips, you cannot eat money, you cannot eat any other material, right? There should be someone who is growing food. And we have seen a lot of side effects and a lot of, diseases, a lot of genetically modified foods which we are consuming, which are produced in labs or, in controlled environments. And we are seeing new diseases, new disorders that are coming up with the consumption of such genetically modified foods. Even our genes are getting modified and we are acquiring new diseases and disorders. And even our DNA, RNAs are changing. And it is becoming unpredictable. More and more we are getting susceptible. And we are becoming more vulnerable to all these diseases, disorders. Now, there is another question. There is no research. Then who has to do research? Already we have plenty of research. Only the fools are questioning. Definitely, I again say these fools are only questioning. When it is there, time tested since thousands and thousands and millions of years, then definitely you are a fool. So it's your responsibility. It's the community responsibility who are against such practices to prove it. It has been already proved and it is there. If you want to document, if you want documentary evidence, then it is your responsibility. Who is funding research? Then it is the responsibility of government to establish universities, Vedic universities, to prove it and to, make it scientifically, to make scientifically documented and take up scientific research so that, they can get it published and so that more and more references can be made, citations can be made. Whose responsibility is this? This is the responsibility of the government. This is responsibilities of the NGOs. This is the responsibility of religious organizations and, communities and every citizen of the country, because it is the rich culture and heritage and it is the traditions of the country. So when you are questioning your own identity, your own rich cultures and traditions. Nowhere else in the world this type of questioning is done, because India is only the country which has such a great diversity, where minorities dominate majority. No other country where minorities dominate majority. But here, there is a huge cry of minorities over majorities. Whatever minorities do, they want everything to be accepted, and whatever small or big thing majorities do, that is not acceptable. And that is very unique situation where nowhere in the world that is being seen. Unfortunately, minorities are exploiting majorities in the name of majority. That is nowhere seen. That is only because, of the tolerance, of the patience by the majority community. Because, majority exercises its rights and, its responsibilities also in promoting and in taking these cultures and traditions forward. And it is also very practical. We have seen there is nothing to be hidden or nothing that is happening or not happening over period of time. We can see it is all visible because there are records, there are media clippings, and we can see today how these minorities are exploiting majorities and violating the rights and provisions of majorities. So this has to be seriously considered. Otherwise, what is going to happen is only destruction. Because anyway, tomorrow, the good practices will get away. And, we have to, now itself, we are suffering. Today, we are talking about so many things. But today also, we do not have cure for many things. Like HIV, we don't have cure. Even for malaria, we don't have any cure. Many things are there. We talk ourselves so great that we have achieved, we have reached Mars, we have reached Moon. But have we reached our own planet in a sustainable way? That is what we need to look. And as we have seen, cows have been seen as a symbol of wealth and prosperity. Because whether we have a family member who is productive or not, if we have a cow in our house, it was always a very productive member of the family. Why it was considered a symbol of wealth and prosperity? Because once there is a cow, it starts reproducing, and we have a lot of cattle. There is growth in cattle. And, every lactation period, you get one offspring, one or two offsprings, and you get one more additional member who are contributing to the family. And through cow, we get milk, and through milk, we get curd, we get ghee. And apart from that, we get urine and we get cow dung, and that is used for various purposes, and various byproducts are also manufactured. Again, that is from curd, we extract this ghee, and also buttermilk is prepared. And from milk, we have flavored milk, and from milk, we prepare paneer and whatnot. See, the entire dairy industry is dependent on cow. Though in a later stages, buffaloes also started contributing. But, again, there is a lot of, variations in among buffalo cow and, buffaloes and cows, and milk also. There are scientifically various differences. We'll look into that in upcoming sessions. But when we are talking, even in some media clippings also, I saw, there is no evidence that cow is prosperity. Now only fool has to make such a comment. Even a small boy, if you ask him what is the benefit of cow, he will be able to give an answer. And after studying so much, if you are making such a vague statement, there is no evidence that cow is a symbol of wealth and cow is contributing to the economy. And that itself shows how ignorant, how negligent, how arrogant one person is to make such a comment. Because we have seen how a cow as a member of family, or as an house, even as a animal member in the family or a household, how it is contributing. Today, sustainability will not be possible without cow, because cow is the only animal or is the only production process where without causing any pollution, it is generating lot of products which are very much essential to the humankind, not only just to humankind, but also to all the kinds. And without consuming, by consuming only just plants and grass and without any cruelty free, without inflicting any pain, cruelty, they are having their livelihoods, and they are also contributing to the rural livelihoods, and not only to rural livelihoods, but also to urban livelihoods. See, many will not see their day without consuming tea or coffee or milk. And even when human is born, his life starts with, consuming milk. And mostly we are fortunate for having mother's milk, and unfortunates start their, life with milk. Again, where does this milk come? Whether it may be formula milk, or whether it may be milk powder, or whether it may be some other milk. But again, that has to come from cows. So that's the importance of cow. And if we are ignorant and making such a vague comments, such a foolish comments, then that is reflecting our ignorance and arrogance. So we have to identify, we had to recognize ourselves, we have to reconnect ourselves to these cows. And that is how cows are treated as a symbol for prosperity, symbol for wealth. Because they are contributing from the day they are born to the day they end their lives. They are continuously contributing, and being a family member, they share with us happiness, sadness, and they be part of our lives. Cows are very protective. They protect their boundaries. No one can enter into that compound if any cow is there. Do you know? Have you ever experienced that? Even dogs can allow, but cows are also very, conscious about their boundaries. And just if any cow is there or an ox is there, people, they don't enter that place also. Often we see those are tied or kept in their, shelters, closed. But if you just keep it open or free in your compound, and no one even dares to enter. So even in the security aspect also, they are very, helpful. They are even contributing in those terms. And even if you see, they don't eat up anything. They don't, like if you keep dogs and cats as a pets, because these are popular pets, what kind of mess they do in your house, in your homes, or in your compounds. But cow will never do any such thing. They are very conscious. They will just, at the most, what it will do, it will keep eating, otherwise keep drinking, and it will stay at its place. Other than that, we never saw, or we never seen any such unreported or even reported incidents that it has done something mischievous or, something unwanted, unacceptable. So even if you consider cow as a pet, and there is no, many animal lovers also, though if they are animal lovers, or though They are not animal lovers also. They have a lot of things. For them, having dog is acceptable, having cat is acceptable, but having cow is not acceptable. See how narcissistic people they are, narcissistic, psycho people, and all these kind of personalities. They are driven by their hidden agendas. They want to destroy the prosperity of the planet, destroy the prosperity of the nation, destroy the prosperity of the community, destroy the prosperity of the individual assets. This is what happening. As we see, many people are losing. Today, farmers are mostly getting into the debt trap because, they are very much dependent because they don't have cattle with them, especially cows with them. So they have to buy everything from milk, curd, everything they have to buy from outside. And even manure they have to buy. And, by not having animal, especially cow, as a pet or as a member of family, because everything they have to depend. Otherwise, using cows and oxes, bulls, they were carrying out this transportation. And, they were happily doing work as part of cows and oxes were never tortured or never bullied, never, put to, abuse in such a manner that their rights are violated. Of course, we can say even that, some people are, we have seen so many comments, some people are commenting, even cows are not, naturally, naturally, they are not made for agriculture. It means by nature, they are not. Are humans by nature are meant for anything, any specific purpose? Can anyone say humans are, meant for to be engineers or meant to be doctors or meant to be scavengers or meant to be, beggars? Or is there anything? Is there any natural law like that? So such people have to think, when I see such comments, I really doubt about their integrity of such people questioning such, no one is meant for any specific purpose. Over the time, based on, their interests, their preferences, and their circumstances, they take up one or other job. So, because they are contributing. Now, if we talk that they are being exploited, even humans are also being exploited. Humans are also left to be free. Let them roam like street dogs on the, street cats. They are roaming without any purpose. Let humans beings also know why we need colleges, why we need schools, why we need universities, why we need to send them. It is a torture. It is an harassment for this, youngsters to be in school, sit in school. Why we have to train human beings? Similar way, even animals are also trained. So if we say by sending to school, we are torturing, abusing children, we are exploiting children, then similar way, we can say animals are also being abused. But when sending school, sending our children or humans to schools, colleges, institutions is acceptable, then why not training animals is unacceptable? So this is lack of proper understanding of how universe works, how species are dependent on each other. People are very convenient to make comments or, they are highly judgmental. They're highly biased, highly slanted. everything they do is right, everything others do is wrong. With that kind of mindset, these problems are occurring. They have, lack of proper understanding. That's why even these cattle are also trained as a member of family. Like if we have one member in the family, we also send them to schools, colleges, and institutions, higher education institutions, to acquire certain skills so that they can perform and be more more productive and contributing to community and nation at large. Similarly, cows or oxes or bulls are being trained. They are not tortured. They are not abused, They happily join various tasks. You see, even because that is also lacking. We don't have that kind of interaction. We don't have that kind of, experiences with these cattle, because somewhere our present generations do not have that interactions with this cow and rural background. That is why they are lacking. They think that, rice is grown from computers or machines. In fact, many children, I happened to visit a school recently where I was asking, where does our food come from? They said, some children were so innocent, they were telling, our milk come from vending machines. They don't know that, milk come from even cows or buffaloes. So they are thinking that milk is produced by machines. And that is how we get our milk. And we ask, where does this, fruits come from? They say it's come from shops, supermarkets. But from where these supermarkets procure, they don't know. They said they might be manufacturing their own. This is kind of knowledge that we are giving to our younger generations. Unfortunately, though we have a lot of information flooding, but still we are lacking the knowledge, that right kind of knowledge that is being disseminated. This is also not just with the kids, this is with the elders also, even seniors also. Because of lack of holistic understanding of how, every species is dependent or interdependent on each other, they think that they are independent and they don't need any support from any other species. But, if nature doesn't give you air, thinking that, okay, I need not support any living being on the planet, or if, just imagine, from the next second, nature decides that I am not going to give air to human beings. In next 1 hour, entire human population will be wiped out. So, assuming that situation, can we say that we are independent from nature? We are independent from environment? Humans are highly dependent. In fact, no other species are dependent on nature, environment, and other species as human beings are. They are dependent on forests, they are dependent on seas, they are dependent on resources. They have become leeches of the nature. Humans have become the leeches who are exploiting resources, who are exploiting the animals, who are exploiting the species on the planet for their own greed. And they themselves abuse or accuse others exploiting them. Today, there are a lot of animal and human conflicts. And they say, animals are invading, encroaching into our human habitats. But when you look at originally where you are located, you have encroached into the forest lands, you have encroached into the open lands, grazing lands, and you talk that you comment or you make a statement saying that you have invaded, but who has invaded whom? So all these aspects are very important. See, unless and until you have this kind of understanding, holistic understanding, unless and until we have a holistic understanding of what and how the entire system works and how we all are dependent on each other for meeting our own needs and requirements, and when we see how various species are contributing, there is no other species, or if you have to put on a pyramid of or a priority of which is the highest contributing species, that is none other than cow. And of course, these foolish people, idiots, they keep commenting because they do not have this minimum basic knowledge. Or I always challenge many intellectuals also. Come on, let me show one other species, including human beings, those who are contributing without, any benefit, seeking any benefit without any expectation. Can you just show any other species? There is no answer. Of course, for the sake of making arguments, they argue. But even they also know by heart there is no other animal that is compassionate as cow. So similar way, whether we like it or not, we should be truthful to ourselves, and we should accept and we should express our gratitude. Nowadays, gratitude has become trendy. Everyone talks about gratitude, but when the day is announced to express our gratitude to mother cows or to such a species which is contributing to the entire planet, and there are people who are criticizing. Of course, the positive side I also accept. Animals also need to be accepted. Animals need to accept them, humans, and there should be a proper rapport. There should be a proper, it should not be a materialistic ritual. Rather than it should go anyway, the process has started. At least we are trying to attempt to systematically get this into system, these practices. It will take a long time because, in the very first place, why it will take long time? Because these were part of the system. And people with vested interest have tried all the ways to create a lot of confusion, ambiguity, and spread a lot of misinformation, disinformation about such practices. And they are continuing to do so. So it will take some more time because nowadays people easily get carried away by the false information, disinformation, rather than the right information. And many people, unfortunately, do not know what is right information and what is wrong information, what is genuine information and what is fake information. Because genuine information or authentic information is very difficult to find in the very first place. Fake information is everywhere. Disinformation, misinformation is everywhere. You can find it everywhere. And among that, finding the right and genuine or authentic information is a very challenging task. That's why, people often do not take so much efforts in finding out and try to believe what is misinformation, disinformation, or fake information or fake news. So why we have to talk is someone has to open up. Someone has to be whistleblower, and many people are doing it. So on this occasion, we had a good start on this day with Manasa providing, lots of insights. And I'm not going to repeat the same thing, but just, is this not enough to, for those who are asking how, cow can be a symbol of wealth or cow as a symbol of prosperity. If a person with minimum common sense would easily agree or accept that. Yes, beyond that, many people have many things, and some communities, some religious groups are strictly against because, they want that community do not prosper. So they have their own political agendas, religious agendas, those who don't want to promote and, want to destroy communities. So they have identified where are the, what are the strengths of such communities, and they targeted such strengths of the communities, and they made that communities feel that, or they created, they converted, or they camouflage those strengths as myths, as, weakness. So people start neglecting them, and today is what we are seeing. So with that, did we stop having cows? No, it has been industrialized. So now what happened? Now farmers are not rich. The industries have become rich. So farmers became poor and they became dependent. But at the same time, now cows' population has increased. And more dairy farms are rearing cows. And not naturally. They are being abused, they are being tortured, they are being, injected with a lot of hormones, and they have been literally exploited for the milk. And all these things are happening. Now the entire process, which was sustainable process, has now become destructive process. In fewer hands of people, and the larger community of farmers are today suffering in the debt trap and lost their wealth and prosperity. So these we need to understand in a different perspective. You can't just think everything in a one perspective and say these are various perspectives. We need to understand how things have been changing and how entire ecosystem is working. That's why I don't want to present in a very scientific manner saying, because that all are there in books. We have published a lot of research, but nowadays people are having difficulty understanding simple things. We see people are reading so many things and many scientific publications, but the common things people are having difficulty in understanding. That is why, there is, I think, instead of talking in jargon or in terms of scientific or papers, we need to talk like a common man. That is more required. So these are various issues that, I also felt very bad in the last 1 week, looking at various media channels, how they trolled this announcement. And of course, even animal welfare officials and animal welfare activists and also animal lovers also had concerns. Initially, all were felt happy, but as the things were rolling and some people were trying to exploit this opportunity, and but concerns have been growingly increasing, and we thought we ourselves should not open animals for more abuse, and it should be done in a gradual manner instead of announcing one day. Let this process gradually come up. Anyway, we have these animal assisted interventions and animal assisted therapies, and many things are coming, and cow therapy is also there, since long back in India and also in New Zealand, Australia, in various countries. We will also look into those statistics also in coming days, where this cow therapy is actively practiced as part of evidence-based, and it is also part of interventions and therapies used, in promoting mental health. So that is there since long from India. We'll also look into those aspects also. Again, it will come where now it is free to go hug and spend time with. But even in India also now people are charging. If you want to spend some time, say 5 minutes with cow, you need to pay for it. It doesn't come from free unless and until, you are spending time with cows. Otherwise, in a therapeutic center, if you want to go and undergo a cow therapy, again, you have to pay for that. Like how this Mental Health Act has come and insurance has stepped in, and nowadays everyone talks about mental health. Suddenly, why everyone is so passionate or compassionate about mental health? Because earlier also there was a lot of mental health issues, and how the entire gamut changed, because of entire this gamut of business came into. Now it is no more mental health as a health. It has become an industry, and mental health practitioners have become, business houses, like hospitals, and they are also making huge money out of it. There is huge money, and there are a lot of like medical. We have commemorated various days of medical insurance fraud, medical records fraud, and similarly, even this is also we are going to see many things in coming days. That's why there is huge lot of mental health series, seminars, and programs and awareness. Because more and more people have to approach, come into the system, and so that more business is generated. Of course, one side we will invite, we accept, and we, because more and more people have to open up, because as they are approaching for physical health, there is need. Definitely there is a need as a mental health professional also. I highly recommend, but it should not be commercialized. Health and medical both should never be commercialized. That is where it is becoming unaffordable. Even now, what is happening is mental health is also being seen, looked up as an industry, and it is being commercialized. Now everyone wants to talk because everyone wants to make money out of it. And even insurance companies also, want to sell more policies which are related to mental health also for depression. Now people are also selling policies for mental health coverage also. So more and more money, and when you go to a consultant, you shell out more money. And as you all know, if you have insurance, it is other way. If you don't have insurance, it is other way. Similarly, in mental health also, a lot of gamut of entire transactions are changed. So similar way tomorrow, even when this cow therapy also will come, which will be a commercialized version of what naturally the cows, we spend cows with the cows and get, lot of benefits. So all these aspects are there. So we will, in coming days, we will see, look at all these aspects. And in brief, on today's session, if anyone has any queries, you can feel free, ask. We are not in a hurry to, to close this just by presenting some scientific or technical sessions. We want a dialogue. We want to understand what is concern, and we want to understand, and we want to debunk the myths also, which is, and there are a lot of false propagandas, and it's our responsibility to ensure that we debunk these myths and false propagandas. So we want more of dialogues, common dialogues, so that we can address these issues and we can create more awareness. So mics are open. Everyone has opportunity to unmute. We are open for queries. You can unmute yourself and you can share your observations, queries. We are there to answer. Yeah, Mary. You can unmute yourself.
Hi, sir. Actually, it was a very informative session, sir, because this is the session first time I'm hearing about so much this topic. So it is a mind-blowing and enlightening session. Even Manasa did a great job about that cow and its importance, and these things I have not heard. That for me, it's an enlightening session, sir. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to voice out my opinion, sir. Thank you once again, sir. Take care, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else would like to share, or anyone has any query, feel free to unmute yourself and share. Yeah, Manasa, you were asking about something.
Sir, regarding Ponganuru cows.
Yeah. Do you have any specific query, ma?
Sir, is that kind of cow is genetically modified or hybrid mode? What exactly the importance of that Ponganuru cow? Because they are very short and hardly around 2 feet or 3 feet.
Actually, there are a lot of perspectives. Because we cannot give answer in a very specific way. Let me. Of course, there are different significances. I am not going to talk about each and every significance, but one thing, to make them more, as a pet. So it is very much required to make them even smaller. So that is the reason more and more breeds are coming up now, which are, kind of affordable, which can be grown in our backyards, like cows, like these cats and dogs. So similarly, there are more, not only this Punganur cow, there are even smaller cows in the world. And recently, China has come up with super cows. These are breeds, genetically modified cows, which are high yielding cows. And people are doing a lot of, experimentation. And even we have seen recently we had animal welfare conference and events where we have seen there were a lot of crossbreeding based on high yielding, and even among indigenous breeds and non-indigenous breeds also, we had a lot of crossbreeding that is happening to leverage the benefits of advantages of both the breeds. So similarly, these cows also are one of the native breeds, especially in Andhra region. And these are, because of their novelty being short. And there is also, it is being widely talked that they have spiritual religious significance also. Actually, even because this is a very long debate or kind of discussion, where even in Vedas also different kinds and different types of cows were discussed. So in that also, and different cultures are also uh, uh, different types of cows, different builds of cows were discussed. So similar, what happened, recently people are also like lot of cows also original, I mean, Indian breeds have disappeared, became extinct. And over the evolution, cows are also like human beings. They also got evolved over the process, and we have different breeds, and we more and more breeds are coming. Even the Ongol breed, today in India, we don't have that pure Ongol breed, though it
Yes, sir.
originated in India. Now the Brazil has the highest original breeds of Ongol cattle. So recently there were efforts to bring on the original this breed
So,
back to India and get this, achieve this 100% breed. Yeah.
yes, sir. Sir, basically, the cows and all from olden days and all, they have already habituated with a particular kind of genetics. But now, as you said, maybe these hybrid cows or one more cow from the China, if we do this genetical changes or DNA changes in the cows, surely it may affect on the milk or the content of the milk, because nowadays we are getting what kind of milk it may be, they are supplying some testing kits or something. But everything has been adulterated, especially in milk also. Due to these genetic disorders, we are getting many problems. So is that really the same genetic kind of genes going on in all the cows?
Not
And
only just in cows, we see, by usage of fertilizers, the water is getting polluted, and the runaway water from the fields, they are interacting with the freshwater bodies, and where they are interacting, they are, they are being consumed by fishes and various other, species. Again, we are consuming that water, we are consuming that fishes or, prawns or whatever it is. Even I or you or we may not consume, but whoever is consuming, and we are also using these genetically modified crops like today wheat which has been once highly recommended is not recommended now because we don't have that pure breeds now. Now we see if we consume wheat, we have a lot of acidity, lot of gas related problems. And today we see a lot of people or children affected with ADHD, autism. These are all are highly with gluten, and because of that, now people are avoiding wheat, or even if they are preferring wheat, they are going for a refined, for a processed wheat where the gluten has been removed. So this is what happening with all the genetically modified crops, not only just with the cows. And again, with this lot of crossbreeding and hybrid cows, even with the injection of lot of hormones, to get high yield of milk, those hormones are getting
yes,
into the
sir.
milk. And because of that, we have seen we are seeing, lot of hormonal imbalances that are happening in the human beings. We see a lot of young children. Today, the next problem, already thyroid has been part of household disease list. Now
Yes,
we
sir.
have seen diabetes. We see in every family there is diabetes, there is cancer, and now thyroid is also part of every family. Like we have inherited our ancestral property. Now everyone is inheriting ancestral diseases and disorders. So why this thyroid has also become part of every household is because of this hormonal imbalances, and that is acting on the various glands that secretes hormones. So with this consumption of, with high hormones or low hormones, the kind of interaction that is happening with our human body or human systems, they are also, impacting on our body, on our organs, which are secreting hormones. And because of that, again, there is a lot of mutation that is happening. And because of that mutations, our genes are also changing, our DNA is also changing, RNA is also changing. And it's going on changing, it's evolving, its mutations are happening. Similar way, these vaccines also stop working. And new diseases, we have recently commemorated this antimicrobial resistance, right? So medicine stopped working, like, mosquitoes, for example. See, they have developed resistance to all these all-out and, mosquito coils and no matter what you keep. Now we have, see in the advertisement, you see 1x, 2x, 3x boosters. And because of that, whether mosquitoes are dying or not, people are dying. Their indoor air is getting polluted and more of toxic. And because of that, people are developing respiratory diseases, asthma, and various other issues because of using of these mosquito repellents, coils, and these liquid vaporizers. Now, what to do? Otherwise, if you don't use, mosquitoes will bite you. If you use, again, that is one more problem. You cannot always keep your house, entirely closed. Otherwise, we used see, like, there are various dimensions to it and various complexities. It is not so simple that you cannot get rid of it, because as we are trying, every species is also trying to overcome their challenges. So in a similar way, as we come up with new things, species also, they will also try to adapt, adjust, so that they also build up, because they also need to survive. Otherwise, ecosystem balance will fail. And, these disasters keep happening. In a similar way, because of cows are also modified and cows are also, fed with these hormones for, excess milk or high yield production, that will also, when we are consuming that milk and various milk products, even we are also fed with these hormones and various other things that are impacting, that are influencing our body. With that also, many changes are occurring. And how we can avoid? Again, that's why we have to go back to our own practices, from industrial farming to, household, backyard farming. Naturally, every family need to have 1 or 2 cows, where it is self-sufficient for that family. And we do not exploit our own cows, right? So we will have healthy, at least not that kind of content, that kind of milk where you have excess of hormones and, excess of all these things. So the only way today is, you cannot do anything unless and until you do it by yourself. Somewhere I heard one quotation that in the coming days, the people who knows how to cultivate by themselves only, they will be able to eat food. So now, in the sense to be understood is, we have to grow our own food. Maybe in terrace garden or balcony garden or within the home. Then only you will be able to eat good food. Otherwise, it is very difficult to get. Already there is a lot of scarcity, of course, and we have seen also recently when we commemorated this World Food Day and other various days, we have seen we are producing 4 times more than what is required. But due to lack of proper infrastructure, proper coordination, proper logistics, and our irresponsible behavior, we have wasting so much of food which is producing. And see, in spite of 4 times producing more, there are many people who are dying with hunger. Now, how do we look at these aspects? It is not that we don't have production, we have overproduction. Then why people have to die hunger deaths? Because of lack of proper logistics, proper planning, proper distribution. Because of that, we are wasting a lot of crops that are produced. Instead of that, we can make a proper policy, implement proper program and a distribution channel where whoever wants, whoever really requires, we can distribute them. Now, even through PDS, how many people who are getting ration from ration shop are really consuming? That is also questionable. We have seen many times in media, they are selling it off. No one is consuming. And some people are consuming it for making snacks and tiffin, a kind of thing. At least to that extent, it is good. But when government is paying so much and giving it for free or at a cost of 1 rupee or 2 rupees, how much funds are misused? And moreover, it is not relieving the people of hunger, right? So the main purpose is, to ensure that no one is dying with hunger and everyone gets food, no matter making food or food grains affordable to everyone, and ensure that there is, decrease in malnutrition, and to some extent, is malnutrition or undernutrition is addressed. So that's why through PDS public distribution systems or food security, food grains are being distributed. So yes, it is the greatest challenge with these hybrid varieties, that genetically modified foods are definitely causing impact. But we have very little choice. At least now we have choice. But in coming days, we'll not have a choice. Either you consume or die. We are leading to such a situation in coming days. So at least, government has realized and NGOs have realized, and they are promoting these terrace gardens or balcony gardens, kitchen, backyard gardens. So I think now it's up to us. We need to have our own goshalas in our community, our colonies. We need to take care of our cows so that we can, meet our own dairy requirements within our community. And we need to grow on terrace or wherever it is possible, or adapt to some villages. Alternative is there always. Now, it doesn't mean that, you be selfish to yourself and you only grow. Even that is not possible. You cannot grow all the food you need on your terrace or on in your balcony or in your apartment, right? So what we can do, we can adapt some villages, we can, or we can work with some villagers or some farmers and support them. Let pay more, but let it be ensured that they do not use any fertilizers. Let it be more organic, let it be more natural, and let's work together with farmers so that let's support. Maybe, generally organic or natural is more because they don't use set fertilizers and the yield is also comparatively less. Because, already land has been exploited, it will take some time. So yield will be less and they at times can be more susceptible to pesticide, pests. And there might be higher pricing, but we need to support them. But again, there is another mafia, they sell these artificial things or hybrid things under the name of organic or natural or eco-friendly or, pesticides free. Again, how far there, we don't know. Because again, there is a huge demand, right? And there is a huge demand and supply is very less. Again, from where they will procure? Again, that is also a question. So we need to consider all these aspects. This is, reality, today's reality, that we are also at times helpless, but at the same time, we are also, have a great opportunity to work on these aspects. So what we can do is start working on it as early as possible and ensure, at least whatever we are consuming, let's ensure that it is eco-friendly, natural, and sustainable. So, to move to sustainable practices, we have to move to older practices only. There is no new practices have become destructible and they have been always doing damage. But we need to adjust, adapt, so that we need to, we have been commercializing each and every aspect. Now, today, even families also, we are seeing there's lack of family member except single parent families. Most are separated families, or either nowadays there is trend of living in relationships. We don't know how, and that is purely temporary relationship. At any second, they can go apart. And where there is no, promising relationship or promising get together. So this is creating a lot of mental health issues. Now, this is also, these mental health, nowadays, mental health problems are because of these also. In fact, we can also relate it to lack of cows in our household also, because we are losing that connect with the animals, We are not having these cows in our household, so we are not spending time. And cows and dogs, how many are keeping? And that is also, even those who are keeping these these dogs and cats, they are also abusing them. And how many are, we have seen so many acts, rules, regulations regarding animals. If you look at that, you cannot even chain a dog, or you cannot confine a cat or a dog into indoors. People go in the morning and come in the night. And how many hours they are indoors without anyone in the home, or confined within their spaces. So a lot of abuse is happening. They are also getting, a lot of cruelty, wantedly or unwantedly. They are also getting exploited, abused. So these are different aspects, but we have to think in a different way. We need to understand in a different way. But at the end of the day, what is important is whether these all practices are sustainable, whether these practices are humane, whether they are leading to promotion of compassion, humanity, love, care, concern for each other or not. So if they are really contributing and promoting these, then definitely we are moving to a compassionate, humane society. Otherwise, we are moving to our own destruction. So this is what is happening now. And no matter whether I talk this today, if I don't talk also, or if I don't mention also, or if someone doesn't mention also, things are going to happen. But at least when we are discussing, when we are having a dialogue, at least we can be aware to some extent. And maybe we cannot save everyone, or we cannot bring awareness to everyone. At least to few, if we can sow a seed, like what is happening and what we can do with what is there in our hands, we can bring out some change. Maybe, sometimes it may not immediately convert into action, physical action, but whenever there is an opportunity, definitely these will help us, to take an initiative to get into action. So hope this answers your query also, Manasa. And anyone else have any queries, you can feel free to ask. And feedback form has been raised in the form of polls. We request everyone to quickly fill the form. And as I already said, this cow therapy, or cow hugging is not new. It's there since ages. And even in many countries also are following it, like New Zealand, Australia, in UK, even in US also. There are various research articles also, which has been published in very reputed journals also. We will see, when cow cuddling is also offered as a therapy in farms, like one of the farms in northern Queensland in Australia is offering cow cuddles as a form of therapy. Like there are many farms, but just to name a farm, Cow Cuddling Co. is one such farm, or a farmer business strategist, Lawrence Fox, who himself felt the healing power of bovine touch. And he started in 2020. He started working remotely from a friend's farm when he discovered the power of cow cuddles. And he was spending a lot of time with the cows down in the paddock before and after work. And even on many lunch breaks, he used to get some sort of contact. And that was really helpful for him. And eventually got the point where instead of taking breaks from that work to go spend time with the cows, he realized that he need to make time spending with the cows, the work, and that's when he sorted out and went down the path of looking into cow cuddling. So when Fox found out his friends had plans to breed their cows, he stepped in and he realized that was happening and they weren't just going to be pets anymore. So they purchased the cows immediately and they had to look into what to do with them. And he was friend with the cows and he made cows his friends. And he had been with them for years and had a kind of step in and had to work out what to do with them after that. And as we have seen, initially he was with the cowhead, named, there were a few cows like Amy, Ella, Holly, Sally, Sophia, and Milkshake. There were names of cows, in that farm. And Milkshake had a calf. So a couple of them were pregnant when he purchased them. And Milkshake, that is cow name, had a calf baby, Chino, and Holly had a calf, Noshi. These were offsprings of that cow. So they were all beautiful, beautiful girls. These are cows are female who love interacting with the humans. This is what observed by the fox. And their body language also showed that they do enjoy it very much. They are basically like half-tone puppy dogs. And you can see that when you start scratching them, they react and they roll over and want scratches on their belly. And some local doctors are also now prescribing visits to his cows. And, when they will also move their tail if you scratch at the base of their tail. So you can tell that they enjoy it and they love it. So that's how, this cow cuddling has started in this farm. And it is not for just the normal population, but also young children with autism spectrum disorder, that is ASD. Doctors are actually prescribing cow therapy or equine therapy. Equine therapy is, where horses are used. In cow therapies, cows are used. So initially, there was no healthcare professionals providing anything. And it is the cows that are therapists there. They are providing therapy to the clients who are visiting. So time spent with the cows gives these children a beneficial oxytocin release because they feel happy, satisfied, contented. And these young children come onto the farm and make eye contact and communicate most of the time with the cows. And after 10 minutes with the cows, they come back to Fox and talk to him, making eye contact, explaining what's the cow is thinking and feeling. And that oxytocin release is just helping to build the ability for the child to build social connection, both with the animal and in that instance with the fox and also the staff there at that time. So here we can see how it is also helping in the process of socialization and in building, maintaining social relationships. And other than children with ASD, visitors are people who love cow cuddles. So he says even some retired farmers are also coming and spending time with their cows. So the majority of the people from a single industry who are coming along and enjoying it are from the farming background, from dairy, beef production, and they also come along because they spent a whole life working with these animals and loving them, and then they have perhaps retired and want to spend some time away and finally have an opportunity where they can come and spend time with these animals they love so deeply. So that's how, this is one of the case study of this cow cuddling home, which was started by Lawrence Fox in Queensland Farm in Australia. So similarly, there are various case studies that we can discuss. In coming days, we'll also look up, discuss with such studies. Even a Gentle Barn Foundation which is a non-profit organization, they are also organizing these cow hug therapies, So each this cow hug therapy session is for 1 hour. They are organizing and works best for one individual at a time. It is 1-to-1 session with the cow and the human. And of course, guests are allowed upon request. I mean, if they want their spouse or children who are accompanying with the client, if they want to spend time, it is allowed. But, ideally, it is recommended that 1-to-1 contact is there so that there are no distractions and they can get most of the relationship or contact. And it's for ages 14 and older. They only allow persons aged 14 and older, and is not just for fun. It's a therapeutic nature. And for animal lovers also, they are conducting tours who want to meet, cows. And how cow hug therapy is intended for those who are really looking for peace, healing, and hope from whatever they are going through. So they are charging. It's not like a charging because there is a non-profit organization. They are taking a donation. They are requesting a donation of $200 for each 1 hour session for cow therapy. And maximum 2 people are allowed. 1 is recommended, but if they have a spouse or a child above 14 years who is accompanying, they can also be part. It's 1 hour session, which are held on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, with the time slots of 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. or 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And this does not include the time spent with other animals. These are therapy animals like cow. They are normal animals only, but they are more compassionate. So in this way, this is another case study where in US, we have seen one case study from Australia. We have seen another case study from US. And in similar way, we have across different countries, we have various case studies. We'll look into them. And there are also various studies, like in 2011 study, it shows that animal-assisted therapy with farm animals, especially cows, was beneficial in reducing depression in people with psychiatric disorders. So maybe the Fox of Gentle Barn, which we were discussing, are onto something. And there is also a research to support the idea of animal-assisted therapy more generally. And also in 2014 study has shown that dogs, cats, fish, even robotic animals can boost our health in several ways, like lowering blood pressure and making us feel. Here, they are using cows So those who are feeling alone, bored, sad, it is giving a good effect for them. In 2019 study, found that watching videos or interacting with animals helped lower student stress levels and boosted their mood. In addition, a 2020 study found that animal-assisted therapy with a bird could boost happiness in chronic psychiatric patients who had been living in a nursing home in Tehran, Iran. So similarly, animals are used, and definitely when compared to other animals, cow stands ahead, apart on the higher hierarchy. So the review article also found benefits for people with depression, autism, dementia, schizophrenia. In addition, when we hug someone, including animals, it can release the chemical oxytocin, a hormone that has been associated with bonding, love, happiness, and less stress. So that's how hugs can help reduce fear and anxiety while boosting self-esteem. And cows are pretty big animals, right? Sometimes weighing thousands of pounds. If they don't like it, the idea, or they are feeling a little hugged out at the moment, they could probably hurt you with a kick. So even unfortunately, a chief minister from our country had also made a statement. What happens if cow hurts someone who is, who has gone to hug a cow? It's a common sense thing, If you, on a Valentine Day, if you go hug a male partner or female partner, if he kicks, then what you will do? If he or she hurts you, what you will do? It's a common sense thing, right? That's why I say, when you are in a responsible position, you have to behave in a responsible manner. Even for that matter, if you go and hug a street dog, or for that matter, if you go and hug a cat, which is not acquainted to you, it will bite you. That is quite natural phenomenon. In that case, now what if dog bites you? What if that cat bites you? Is it a question to be asked? Definitely, you will approach for a treatment. So you should behave in an appropriate manner. That is common sense question, right? And they are also beings, living beings as us. They also are sentient beings. They have also pain. They are also experiencing discomfort. They are also experiencing anxiety, stress. And as we are, so that's why we need to have common sense. That's why I told you in the early hours only, starting itself, there are certain genuine reasons because, we are sometimes behave in a very crazy manner. And in a similar way, today taking it as a cow day, and wherever you misbehave with the cow, definitely it will hurt you. If you misbehave with a person, he will not or she will not hurt you. In a similar way, animal will also do. Why there needs to be any exception over there? So in a similar way, definitely because cows are very heavily built, very strong, and though their intention may not be to hurt you, but to avoid or to restrict or retain a person, to avoid hugging or to avoid come closer, it may push you. Sometimes it may push you with, her head or shoulders or any body part. It can use it to keep you away. Now, in this process, you should be conscious, you should be aware. And now what that poor cow will do on this Valentine's Day, if you are a man, say you are going someone on a road or who is not known to you, and if you go and kiss or hug him or her and say Happy Valentine, if he kicks you back, or if he beats you back, or if he or she kicks you back or hurts you, then who is responsible? Such a stupid question, right? This is common sense. When you are going to a person or an animal, it is your responsibility to ensure that you gain trust of that person or animal. You behave in a proper manner. You approach that person or an animal in a proper way so that it doesn't hurt you. They doesn't hurt you, or you do not hurt them in the process. So these common sense related, simple common sense also, if we are lacking, then unfortunately, what we have to say. So we have to be responsible. See, it is not a mandate. And moreover, it was not a mandate, that you should go to a cow and hug a cow. Nowhere it is mentioned. Even the appeal was made. It was an appeal. Actually, it was a request. Not only for everyone. It was just for cow lovers who want to celebrate. They can go and hug. It's not for everyone also in that but this media and vested people with their vested interests, they created that in such a way that everyone has to go, everyone wants to hug. What kind of stupidity is there? Whoever has read it, even I also read it yesterday in the forum on the platform, what the appeal was. It was mentioned cow lovers who can also celebrate. It is not a mandatory. It was nothing to be taken so seriously also, But, people are there, as I mentioned, with vested interests. They are already at rage to, create a lot of issues around the cow. And because it was sustainable, wealthy animal, as long as cows are there in the community with the families, they will be prosperous, they will be wealthy. So how to make them poor? How to make them dependent, to remove this cow from the community in the very first place, so that the people keep suffering. People remain poor. People remain dependent. So these are all various things that is happening. Anyway, we'll look into that. We all know there is nothing to deny it. We are talking openly here. So these are different things that are happening. So who is responsible? There are many dog bites that are happening across the nation. Now, who is responsible? Is government taking responsibility for each and every dog bite that is happening? It is only individual's responsibility. Similarly, if one goes to a cow and misbehaves, then it is his own responsibility or her own responsibility. So when we are making such statements being in a responsible position, you should have certain common sense, If someone questions like this, then what would be his or her answer? If it says it is government responsibility, then government will be, or that, person will be in a serious situation. Now, whether they are really taking care of those persons who are, affected by animals or people, if government itself is taking all the responsibility, they are not taking responsibility, and it proves their negligence. and they will be, under a serious this thing. So when you are making such comments or such statements, you have to be very careful, because you may be pointing one finger, but four other fingers are pointing at you. So people can question you in a same manner as you are questioning them. Now, what would be your answer? Then there are many people who got dog bites. There are many people who have, being abused by human beings also without doing anything. Humans attacked other humans. Then who is responsible for that? Right? So all these things are there. If we keep on arguing for the sake of arguing, or there will be no outcome. Our arguments or our dialogues or discussion should lead to a positive thing. See, we can make fuss about everything or anything. That shouldn't be. We are not here, or on this planet at least, not here to, create more indifferences, more divide people, but we are here together for a harmonious, peaceful living. And we are looking for sustainable options where we can promote peace and harmony. So these are opportunities where we can utilize, because cows have been part of our family, our ecosystems, and they have been contributing. They are still contributing, and they are the ones who are going to contribute even after humans become extinct, because even before humans existed, cows have been existing. And even after humans become extinct, cows will exist. So we are going to become extinct before they become extinct. That is for sure. So we need not worry about them. In fact, we need to worry about ourselves. So we need to behave in an appropriate manner with them. It is our responsibility. So similarly, if we keep talking about what all happened in this media in the past 3-4 days, if we also question them, then we can give answers to everyone, each and everyone. We can give, appropriate answers to them. But what we tell or what we request is, don't, politicize, don't put your hidden agendas into poor cow, which is, really doing so much for all of us, irrespective of one's religion, one's creed, one's community. It is serving everyone. There is no community or no child that has never drank milk, irrespective of which community belong, which religion you belong. Without milk, you could haven't been surviving. So cow is such an animal where, it is contributing to everyone, everywhere. So let's express our gratitude wholeheartedly, genuinely, and show our love, compassion to the animal. More than animal, it is more than even human being. So that's why we revere, we respect, we express our gratitude to cow. It's not that, some people say it is foolish that they worship. Yes, what's wrong? You are worshipping a stone. Every religion is worshipped has idol worship, whether you worship, a statue, or whether you worship a grave, or whether you worship a symbol. So every belief system, every religion has different kinds of systems. If one system is wrong, then all the other systems will be wrong only. How that one system is right and all the other systems are wrong, or one system is wrong, other systems are right? Because all are like a different kind of madness. All when we say it, if it is a madness, or if we say if it is a ritual, then all are rituals. So we need to understand, all these aspects. So anyway, it will be there as long as people are there who are trying to divide, or who are trying to create hatred among communities. As long as they're, we have to be very conscious. We have to be aware of all these things. And we have to be very conscious about what we are doing, what we are talking, what we are practicing. So anyway, our topic is very much related to cow welfare. And these are various myths. Why we need to talk is there are various myths associated with these things. So that's why we are talking issues. Even if you have a lot of, what you can do is in coming days, you can also collect some media clippings or media, these things, and, we can debunk it, demyth them, debunk them here, so that at least, we can get clarified ourselves so that we can remain aware of these issues. So from tomorrow onwards also, you all are welcome. If you can come up with more presentations, we would be happy to take it up and discuss pertaining to cow laws or, rules and regulations or cow therapies also. Anyway, I will also be presenting whenever time permits. I want to give opportunity to others. So let's take up sessions. We have plenty of time in coming days. So thank you, everyone. If you have still any queries, feel free to ask.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for choosing this topic and enlightening us a very insightful and knowledgeable sessions. Even though it's a well-known animal to everyone, but still I have learned the privilege and also the significance. On top of that, the mutual relationship between the humans and cows. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving everyone a wonderful and a golden opportunity to learn things or the contents in a very vivid manner. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma, and thank you, everyone. Manasa, Mary, and who else all interacted. And it was nice presentation, and we wish you all the success, and may the mother cow shower her blessings on you. And she is also treated as, she's also, very well known as Kamadevi, the fulfiller of wishes. That's why, cow is also treated as, wealth, a symbol of wealth and prosperity. So you get everything. Health is wealth. If you have health, automatically you have wealth. You can achieve anything. There is nothing that cannot be achieved by a human being, or for that matter. So that's how, may Kamadhenu shower all her blessings on you, and you also achieve greater heights in your life. And thank you, everyone. All the participants.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, all the participants, for joining us. Kindly fill up the feedback form. And those who have not registered, kindly register. It's only once for the event. And see you all tomorrow with a different topic on this same 1 week seminar. See you all. Take care. Good night.